The internet is full of scary content, but certain videos go beyond the limits of disturbing. The first video we're checking out today was posted on TikTok in January 2025 by a woman named Nadia. In the footage, she's filming a playground from a distance, sitting inside her car. But right away, something feels very off. In the video, a large swing suddenly starts moving on its own, violently swinging back and forth as if some invisible force is playing on it. Nadia, clearly stunned, just keeps recording, unable to make sense of what she's witnessing. What makes it even creepier? The trees nearby are barely moving, which means there's not enough wind to explain the swing's intense motion. So, what is behind this? Could we be watching something paranormal unfold? Maybe a spirit still enjoying the playground long after death? If that's the case, let's just hope it's only looking for a little fun. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more scary content. Now, let's move on to the next video. A TikTok user going by KittyK38 Backup posted a clip from a home security camera apparently recorded in broad daylight. In the footage, the homeowner is seen outside in the yard, completely unaware of the eerie event unfolding inside. What starts off as an ordinary recording quickly turns into something deeply unsettling.
Hon? Hon?
In the video, a chair holding two dolls begins to tip backward, balancing on just its rear legs as if an invisible force is pulling it. When the man walks back into the room, he clearly reacts in shock at what he finds. At first glance, you might think the chair is a rocker, but after watching again, it becomes obvious it's not, and that kind of movement just shouldn't happen on its own. There's not much background info about the video, but one thing's for sure, the footage is downright creepy. If you've never been afraid of dolls before, this might change your mind. In the well-known ghost subreddit, a user named Chosen12803 shared a chilling video recorded by his sister while she was hospitalized. Being in a hospital is already unsettling on its own, but witnessing something that seems to come from another dimension takes it to a whole new level. The video, filmed in 2020, shows his sister recording the hospital hallway, and it doesn't take long before something bizarre happens. In the middle of the hallway, a dark, ghostly figure mysteriously appears. Later in the video, she films over her shoulder, and once again, that eerie presence shows up. She even tries to investigate but finds absolutely nothing, which, to be honest, might have been the best outcome. Who knows what could have happened if she'd gotten closer to whatever that was. Let's just hope that spirit isn't still wandering the halls of that hospital. This next piece of footage feels like something straight out of a found footage horror film. It was posted to the High Strangeness subreddit and shows the person filming a house and a massive tree behind it, late at night. Right from the start, the street has an eerie, unsettling vibe, completely silent and still, but within seconds, things take a disturbing turn.
This is the second time I've come over here, and the first time when I got up under them trying to figure out what it was, they started breaking limbs off and throwing them at me, and I still cannot figure out what it is. Look, they're ruining this freaking place. Look, that's bigger than me. Look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that. What in Jesus' name is doing this? Oh my God, he just took half the tree down. Something, oh my God, oh my God. Oh, it's gotta be I don't even think a bear would have a chance in Hades and it doing this. It's something stronger than a bear. I think I'm gonna bounce because I think he just hit the ground, which means he's about to face me on foot. And I don't really want to wrestle with somebody that can tear trees down.
Suddenly, the branches of the tree start shaking violently, snapping off and crashing to the ground. The person filming explains that something, or someone, up in the tree has been throwing the branches at them. He also says that whatever it is, it seems much larger than him. At one point, he realizes the thing has come down from the tree, and without hesitation, he decides to get out of there fast, which honestly was the smartest move he could have made. But the big question remains, what was this incredibly strong creature powerful enough to break full branches like they were nothing? And why was it targeting the person filming? If you've got any theories, let us know. If you're planning to spend the night in a place like this haunted monastery, you'll need to prepare yourself mentally. YouTuber Franco TV takes the risk of staying overnight at a place known as the Monastery of the Devil.
Alright, I made it back out here, and it is horrifying, and starts kind of like pushing me in towards the church, where I feel like I'm protected slightly until I start having other weird encounters inside.
And this time, Franco's experience is no different. As soon as he steps inside, he begins to hear strange noises.
Look what they did. They completely took down the cross and leaned it up against the wall. Hey, I think it was upstairs.
He decides to climb the stairs, but soon enough, the sounds start coming from below.
I have my stuff right there.
Franco heads back to the room to investigate what's going on.
It legit sounds like moving. Coming from the inside of here.
At first, he doesn't notice anything out of the ordinary, but as he moves deeper into the place, an odd sound is heard.
Yes.
Something moved back there.
Yes.
Something definitely moved, and as he continues exploring the monastery, he hears another sinister voice.
Check over here.
This place is a real treasure for anyone into the paranormal, but honestly, Franco must have some serious courage to take it on alone. I, for one, would need a group to come with me. Or, at the very least, I'd keep a safe distance from that place. On April 16, 2023, around midnight, a man named Jacob woke up to a strange noise coming from outside his room. Trembling with fear, he got up and was met with something that completely terrified him. Jacob had inherited an old house and a creepy clown doll that belonged to his grandmother. The doll, named Jeffrey, scared him so much that he kept it locked in a separate room. But that night, something happened that sent Jacob into a full-blown panic. A loud bang woke him up just before midnight. He heard more noises, eventually realizing they were coming from the room where Jeffrey was locked up. What happened next was enough to make him lose all control of his fear.
I just heard banging.
When Jacob checked the room, he heard a noise from downstairs. He nervously glanced at the stairs and suddenly footsteps began to climb. But when he looked more closely, no one was there. Then he quickly turned around and saw the door to Jeffrey's room slowly opening, and the most chilling detail? The doll's head was in a completely different position. Before, Jeffrey had been facing the wall. Now it was staring directly at the door. Jacob immediately stopped recording and locked himself in his room until morning. After that night, he was convinced that Jeffrey was possessed. Fearing what might happen, he decided to lock the doll in the basement.
Another update. I think I'm definitely going to be moving Jeffrey. Like, with whatever happened last night, I don't want him near me. I'm going to be putting him in the basement, so I'm going to follow up. This is the results so far. I'm going to leave him here for now, but I think I'm going to put a camera here. Jeffrey's still here, so we're gonna see if there's anything I miss.
This time, Jacob took precautions. He installed a security camera in front of Jeffrey to monitor him and be notified if the doll moved. A few nights later, something unexpected happened. In the middle of the night, Jacob received a motion notification from the basement. He accessed the live feed and saw the camera swinging from side to side. At first, he wasn't scared because he remembered the heater the camera was mounted on had a timer that made it wobble. He thought the heater must have been turned on, but as he continued watching, something absolutely terrifying happened. As the camera swayed, the doll's arm moved on its own in a bizarre fashion. A few seconds later, the light bulb exploded with a deafening bang, plunging the basement into total darkness. Then, a strange voice whispered something unintelligible. After that, everything went silent, but it was enough to make Jacob come to a final decision. Jeffrey would be locked in the basement forever. The doll continues to be monitored by the camera, but so far Jacob hasn't posted any more updates, and so this mystery remains unsolved. The next series of videos comes from a TikTok page called Dude, My House is Haunted, where the user has been experiencing strange and inexplicable events inside his home for the past 10 years. At first, the occurrences weren't too intense, allowing him to simply ignore them and go about his day, but recently things have gotten much worse, prompting him to install cameras around the house to try and capture the events. He believes it's the spirit of his wife, who passed away years ago. He often finds objects scattered around the house and even sees things move on their own, like in this video.
Well, as you can see, it's morning, guys. This is just a quick update because I got to get to work. But when I got up this morning to get my coffee, I walked into the kitchen and saw this. So I guess you guys were right that activity seems to be picking up because I have been, doing renovations. I replaced all this stuff, this dishwasher, this stove, the oven hood there. But this morning when I came into the kitchen, I noticed the cabinet was open, and then I noticed this chair. So I checked the Ring video, and it definitely... and the refrigerator's been making a god-awful noise. It used to make another god-awful noise, like the fan bearings were screeching, and it was just such a loud whistle. Sometimes I'd just unplug it. But sometimes I could unplug it and plug it back in, and it would stop doing it. But now it's making this, whoa! Okay, see, I didn't even move. I wasn't even moving. That's the first time that's happened since the last time. Okay, it's got to be a bed bearing, but I wasn't moving. Look at that. It's closed, and there's nothing on the edge. There's nothing on the edge that would, like here on this edge, that would push it out. And there's the magnet clip.
In this video, a chair in the kitchen starts sliding on its own and eventually turns around, only for a mist-like figure to appear and throw the chair across the room with force. After this, he began to doubt whether the entity was really his deceased wife. A few days later, things got even more terrifying and he became completely convinced that it wasn't his wife.
Remember how I said I didn't know how I'd react if this thing started touching me? It started walking towards me. I feel a hand on my back. Sorry. It terrified me. I froze. I don't know if my wife is in there, but his people seem stuck. They were all saying, "Help me."
And this is what happened earlier that day.
Hey guys, my hall walker is back. I'm gonna go into the hallway and see if I can hear. It sounds like it's down at the end of the hallway. Right back there. That felt like somebody's right standing behind me. Holy fuck. That was somebody right behind me. It felt like their face was right here. Like they were really tall. I was frozen. I couldn't move. Oh. What the fuck? That's not my wife. And that's not Miss Father. That felt like somebody really tall.
After feeling a malignant presence behind him and hearing whispers from tormented souls, he's certain it wasn't his wife. When he caught the attic door violently slamming shut on its own, he began to believe that something horrific might be living up there and that these lost souls were condemned to suffer and remain trapped in the attic.